Hello from Braveheart in County Louth here. This is where the last High King of Ireland died and was buried. You've probably seen the film Braveheart. The film tells the story about William Wallace, who leads the Scottish in their struggle against the dastardly King of England, Edward the Longshanks. In the film, there's a noble lord called Robert the Bruce, who will eventually go on and defeat the English at the Battle of Bannockburn and send them homewards to think again. You probably don't know, though, that Robert had a younger brother called Edward, and Edward would go on to be crowned the last High King of Ireland. Hi, my name is Matthew, I'm Irish. If you're interested to find out more about Edward the Bruce, about the Bruce family, Rockimage, let's go. I'm here in the old graveyard in Braveheart, and this grave here is where Edward Bruce is buried. Edward Bruce was crowned High King of Ireland in McCourt's pub just near from here in Dundalk. So it actually wasn't McCourt's pub back then. I don't know what was there before, but where the pub is, that's actually where he was crowned High King of Ireland. But I don't know about you, but if I was going to be crowned King of Ireland, I think there's not many better places than in a pub with your buddies having a few pints of Guinness. There's always been links between Ireland and Scotland. In fact, the word Scotland literally means the land of Irish. Scotia is the Latin for an Irish person who can swim. In the 5th century AD, there was a kingdom in the north of Ireland called Dal Riada, and this kingdom slowly started to conquer lands in the south and the west of Scotland. Over the next few centuries, it would conquer a lot of modern day Scotland, and with them they brought their language, the Gaelic language, and their customs. You'll know from watching Braveheart that Edward the Longshanks, the King of England, he wasn't a fan of the Scottish, and he really wanted to defeat them.
The trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
He did a pretty good job. He was known as the Hammer of the Scots. His son, Edward II of England, he took over from his father and continued the war against the Scots. But he wasn't as successful as his father, and he was defeated by Robert the Bruce in the Battle of Bannockburn. So Robert the Bruce sat down with his younger brother Edward, with his family, with the other nobles, and he decided, I wonder, we have the English on the run, what should we do? I wonder if anyone could help us. So they were thinking, and they said, I know, what about we ask the Irish? So the Bruce family, Robert the Bruce, his wife, was Irish, and also on their mother's side, they had Gaelic lineage. So they would have been in contact with a lot of the nobles in Ireland. They put the word out, and a lot of the nobles in Ireland said, yes, we would like to join you in fighting against the English. So Edward the Bruce, he gathered an army in Scotland, and he sailed over, landed in Larne in County Antrim. There was a bit of resistance when he landed. Some of the local people weren't too happy with this big army of Scottish people arriving, but he overcame those petty squabbles, and he was joined by a few Irish kings, and they went around Ireland. They defeated a few Irish, a few English armies, and they stayed here for 3 years. But the timing wasn't great. At the time, there was a great famine in a lot of the north and west of Europe, and also maybe there were unruly Scottish wandering around, pillaging, stealing, and the Irish started to think, maybe the English aren't so bad after all. So after 3 years, there was a battle. The English sent an army over, and Edward the Bruce met that English army here, just down the valley here in Braveheart. Edward the Bruce lost. He was killed in battle and he was buried here. There's a good movie on Netflix at the moment called The Outlaw King. That goes into more historical detail and more detail on Robert the Bruce and the Bruce family. If you've seen it, let me know what you think of it in the comments below, or if you have any other comments, please leave me a comment. Slán agaibh.